नहीं हुआ स्टार्ट इसमें एक ऑटो रोटेट हो जाएगा स्टार्ट कूल
Can it go horizontal? Because
It's like this. It's like this.
Much clearer.
better.
Much clearer.
Alright.
Let's start. Hi everyone.
Hi.
Good afternoon. Thank you for making the effort to come to the clinic. A lot of you are familiar faces, but there are some new faces. If you have never attended any of my workshops before, can you let me know? Never attended. And others, there are a lot of other people who attended workshops, possibly online, not offline. Because for 2-3 years I've done all online stuff because of COVID. But now we can do this where we can actually interact with each other. And certain things you can only grasp when you are in person. So I'm glad that you've come. And I'm glad you're serious about your posture. Tell me what it is about your posture that you struggle with. So give me one minute, just a few people. What is it that you want to take away from today's session?
A little slouching, and a couple of times people have told me that I'm bending
Forward.
on the right side.
Okay, that's okay. What else? Others? Any pain issues that you think are originating from posture?
Yes. Like also pain while sitting.
Okay.
And moreover, this side gets quite painful when I sit for long hours.
Okay. All right. Okay. Very common. What else? Anybody else? Any shares?
How to maintain posture throughout the day.
Awesome. That is a struggle. I have one slide that says easier said than done. That's what we are here to learn, how to make sure that one is to understand. So all my workshops tend to be a little bit theory. Why? Because unless you understand the concept behind it, you're not going to completely grasp it. Right? So that's
voice.
louder.
More
Okay. Louder. Okay. So before I start, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Dr. Rajni Patil. I'm a spine and sports physiotherapist. I have about 23 years of experience in my field. My first 10 years I practiced in the US, after which I have been practicing here in Shivaji Park. Shivaji Park is my adda, so to say. I live in Dadar East, but I'm rarely there. You know, you are always at work. So this is my space, and I do a lot of preventive work because I think a lot of the issues that we see in the clinic can be prevented absolutely by doing some very, very simple basic things. Which is why I conduct a lot of these workshops. A lot of my workshops are free, so that a lot of people can attend. And that's why I give the online and hybrid version so that people all across India as well as outside can attend. And some are paid programs, which are courses and things like that, which are more in-depth to help you get better. So that's about me. Let's talk about posture a little bit. Also, one disclaimer, I don't usually wear heels. If you've ever seen me in the clinic, I never wear heels. But I'm trying to make a point, and I will tell you that a little bit. Alright, so what is posture? When we think about posture, there are two things that come to mind. One is, basically we just need to know कि हमको aware रहना है कि कैसे बैठना है. That's it. बराबर. अगर हम aware रहेंगे और ठीक से बैठेंगे तो there is no problem. तो फिर posture correct हो जाएगा. But it is actually a lot more than that. It's not as simple as just trying to sit up straight. Okay? Now, all of you, for example, are slouching, is it not? Right? To some degree of slouches there, everyone. So let's try to straighten up. Okay, now if I told you कि बैक सपोर्ट नहीं देना है, आगे बैठो, बैक एकदम स्ट्रेट रखो, कोर एंगेज करो and sit like this for 1.5 hours. Do you think that's going to happen?
No.
It's not going to happen. Why? So just being aware and holding that posture, is that enough? It's not enough. You got a good seat back there.
Yes.
Fabulous. Okay, so that's the point I'm trying to make. Okay, now let's look at what happens when we do not think. What are the benefits of good posture? Very simple slide. It tells us about what happens when we do have good posture. What happens?
You feel confident.
You look and feel confident. Yes. What else?
Your spine is erect.
Spine is erect, which means your alignment is better. What else?
No pain at all.
Pain. No pain, I don't think it's okay, but
Your
yeah,
breathing
can
is
limit
lesser
pain.
Your breathing
Breathe
is
better.
Breathing is better. Breathing is better. So now go back to your slouched positions, everybody. Some of you are already there. Let's slouch again. Okay, now take a deep breath. Okay, go a deep breath. Now both hands up. Now take a deep breath. Okay, do you feel that there is some restriction
Yes.
in the breathing? Okay, now sit up tall. Out of the chair, in front of the chair, nice and tall posture, shoulder blades पीछे and tummy pulled in, hands up. Did you notice your hands go back further?
Yeah.
Okay, so which means what? Your shoulder joint also has more movement. Now take a deep breath. कितना फर्क पड़ा? 10-20% फर्क पड़ा? Hi, come. More than that. How much? You can actually breathe deep.
It doesn't pull on the neck.
It doesn't pull on the neck. Exactly. You can relax. Okay? No more. Chest, khatam?
Can we sit down?
Yeah.
If you have
Whoever
mats,
wants
if you
to
have
sit
mats,
down,
maybe the
no.
first two rows can sit down,
Take
rest
it.
can
Sit
sit
three, 4 minutes.
on chair. Whoever wants to sit on the mat, please go ahead. Right, go ahead. और आएंगे
आपके शूज में निकाले.
हाँ मैं निकल दूँगी.
Okay, sorry for the interruption. Those watching live this live telecast, please make sure that you're doing some of these exercises with me. Only then you'll understand what is happening. Okay, did you feel that difference? What did we do? It was just a very simple thing, na? Very simple thing. It changed your breathing and it changed your shoulder and it changed muscle activity here. It also changed your lower back stuff, which you're not able to perceive, but a lot of changes happen. So the benefits are, if you have muscle spasms, it takes them away. Muscle spasms are usually because some muscle has tightened. Why does that happen? Because you're out of alignment for a long time. So if say you're sitting in a slouched position for 15 minutes, I think that's acceptable. सब लोग ही करते हैं ऐसा. No, that is okay. But if you sit continuously in a slouched position, it's a cumulative effect. Okay, like people will ask me, अरे हम तो सालों से वही लैपटॉप पे ऐसा बैठ के काम कर रहे हैं, आज भी मुझे पेन है. It is a cumulative effect on the muscles and joints and everything. So what are you doing? You are basically taking your spine, basically it's your whole spine that is out of alignment. You've gone into a C shape, which is malaligned. Now in this position, what's happening? The muscles are ineffective right now. So in a sense, क्या कर रहे हो आप? Ligaments पे पुला रहा है, disc पे पुला रहा है. Okay, so in a sense, you are doing this is your spine. You're doing this to it. Let's do this exercise. See how it feels. Let's inflict some pain. And then pull it back as far as you can. Immediately it started hurting because it's it's a small structure, but your spine is in essence this. So ये जो, if I tell you to hold this for an hour, क्या? Finger replacement करना पड़ेगा. Out of alignment and in poor posture. Again, easier said than done. Okay, boost confidence. Obviously, breathing increase हुआ, oxygen intake increase हुआ. Migraines, headaches and migraines. Anybody suffer from headaches? Only one, I'm surprised. Headaches. Also a byproduct of poor posture. A lot of people think headaches can be a number of things. It can be something internal. Okay? It can be something bad. But about 90% of the time, it is something as silly as posture. It should not restrict. It should not cause stuff like this. Right? You can correct it. So why is that? It's because of this forward head position. This is the first thing in posture that we are looking for is forward head. The minute you are forward head, this curve of the spine is here. Correct? So now what has happened to it? It's flattened out and there's a lot of strain on the muscles here, a lot of strain on the muscles. As a result, the muscle tension starts developing. One side gets lax, one side gets tight. Muscular imbalance हो गया. Again, it's a matter of time. आज नहीं होगा, कल नहीं होगा, परसों नहीं होगा, कल कभी तो होगा, right? Does that mean it should be a change up? Yes. So we will do that exercise. We correct some of these little things.
But is that something one should be trying to
One
hold
should
over
be
time?
trying to do. So in sitting it's much harder. So we can do a chin tuck. This is a chicken exercise. So a chin tuck. So not this as much as this. Why? Because if you are here, you are fixed here, and for you to go back may not be so easy to do. But what is needed? Your ear over your shoulder. Ear over shoulder. And that usually, if you are in standing, then it's easier to maintain. But if you are sitting and you are already in a seat, so much tougher to maintain.
But that's what we should be.
That's what you need to be all the time. Yeah. Okay, so ear over your shoulder. Take
How do you do that when you are actually looking at a laptop or something? Kind of. When you're now you're telling us to do this, but normally we like this.
That is a problem. That is it. So that comes back to the awareness part. There are a lot of ways that we can fix that. And see, in posture, there are two things that you have to understand. One is that your body is designed to move. If you are aware, you can correct it. Most of you can correct your posture. You may not be able to sustain it or maintain it, but you can correct it. But when you hold that posture for a long period of time, because of changes that have happened in the body, it becomes fixed. Okay? एक बार अगर fix हो गया, there are so many people who have this and it's fixed there. Even if they want to, they can't go back here. Correct? And that happens with age. We know that aging does that to us. So if you are able to correct it, you want to correct it as frequently as possible. And I will give you the exercises. We'll be doing exercises today, right?
Yeah.
So in that, this is one of the key exercises to be done.
Okay.
So one is being aware and then taking your body through those movements in order that your body understands what is good, what is bad. Our brain is like a supercomputer. It's telling the body what to do. So if you sit in poor posture all day long, your brain says that okay, this is normal.
This is not. Yeah, exactly.
Right? So तुम्हारे लिए ये normal हो चुका है. Slouch posture ये तुम्हारे लिए normal हो चुका है. अब तुम ऐसा करोगे brain में ऐसा flash हो रहा है. Something is abnormal, something is abnormal. It doesn't know that this is normal. How do you do that with repetition? The more frequently you do that, the more neural pathways are going to connect to the brain telling them this is right. That's why in physio, Jane knows how many times we tell you to do the exercise. Twice a day, thrice a day. Why? For repetition. Only the repetition can build those pathways. Okay, now this is all it can do. This is very basic stuff, you know this. Okay, but this you may also we discussed this malaligned spine, poor posture, headache, poor circulation. It also affects your bones. So degeneration in the bones and joints also speeds up if you are malaligned all the time. Okay, now this is a pictorial diagram of the things that are happening internally while you are sitting in a C shape. You can appreciate the C shape. This is how you're sitting. Yes? No? I was hoping for some no. No, no. All yes?
All yes.
All yes.
No,
In general, it happens. But you are there for 4 hours, it
It will happen. Yeah, over a period of time it goes like that.
Yes, yes. So you're making my point for me.
Yeah.
It's not possible to sit up tall, but it is important to do that because of all these things that are happening internally. You don't know all this is and these are micro things that are happening, and they're all cumulative in nature. धीरे 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 वो बढ़ते जा रहा है. Okay. These are the statistics that it tells us. These are just some of the main ones that happen, that show up. Okay, you see 63% back. Back is one of the most common things that happen globally. With headache, with knee. Globally this is the case, right? But there are other things that happen. Okay. So, see how I said that it helps you age gracefully? Have you seen people who are like really old, but they exude this aura of like young person, glowing as a posture, personality, right? That is what we want. And that comes with maintaining good posture for a long period of time. My father-in-law was one of those people. He was at 80, but people will say, he looks 60, 65, skin always erect. And he used to work out, I want to say 2 hours per day. And he would split it, like he would walk 1 hour a day, and he would do breathing plus mobility stuff an hour in the morning and an hour he would walk with people. And I always joke about this, but ever since I knew my father-in-law, which is long time, he has never missed a day of his walking except for the 3 days of his 3 children's wedding days. और तभी भी बाबा बोलते थे कि मैं साइंस से चल के आता हूँ पहले तुम लोग जाओ. So that consistency, okay, and that's what I mean. It was in an optimum health. So we want to be like that. We want to. It's great to have such inspiring people. So if you have such people in your life, hopefully you get inspired and motivated by them. Okay, now what is right posture? I come. This? Anybody does this?
No.
Expected tha?
We're not that right.
Not that bad. Acha, I'll have to ask your colleagues. Anybody? No, it's not. I have actually seen this. I have. Fictional slide. It's not fictional. She's not admitting it, but it's okay, so this, I have actually seen it. I teach corporate workshops for for posture and for health. Na? So there was a creative agency, and creative people, any creative people here? Creative people are known not to follow protocol and norm. So while I'm teaching about posture, they are all sitting like this. Manager ka employee. But can't say anything to creative people, correct? But how about this? Work from home. I've seen this also. Work from home. From their kids, बच्चों का table and chair. Okay, we are laughing, but it's actually happened, but very badly. Then what is good posture? Okay. Knowing good posture and maintaining it, this is what we are going to talk about next. At the end, we will be doing exercises and we'll remove all the chairs and we'll do practical. Now, it's all about maintaining neutral. Okay, what is neutral? What do you understand by neutral?
Not
Very
balanced,
balanced.
not bent, not.
Not
In
right,
between.
not
In
it is
between,
right or left.
Like not good, not bad. That is, I'm neutral to this issue.
Yeah.
But what does it mean for our body? The neutral we can like that. Don't mind sitting on the floor. For the neutral, we need to look at our spine. We need to understand our spine. If we can get our spine in a neutral position, that's your. Then we are good. So just understand it. We'll quickly run through these slides so you just get the concept of it. That's your spine. Looks complex, na? It is complex. Very complex. But simply putting, this is a front view. आगे से देख रहे हो, ये side से देख रहे हो. Okay, now your spine from the side, when you look at it, is supposed to have those curves, and that is the S curve we talked about. Okay, this is the S that we want to maintain, as opposed to the C in that picture that you saw. These are your spinal curves. Everybody has them. किसी को कम, किसी को ज़्यादा. Okay, but these curves, if we are able to maintain these curves as close to neutral as long as possible, we keep our bodies aligned and imbalances don't start working. If this is clear, what curves I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Sure, come here. Name, model? Anthony. Anthony is our model. Thank you, Anthony. So, turn. So, if we are looking at this, you see this soft curve here. This is the lordosis here. This is the kyphosis which is coming out. Again, there is a dip in and then again dip out. Got it? This is the S that we want to maintain. 1, 2, 3. Now, these curves are different. No? Like this can be flatter or excessive. This can be excessive. For women, generally post-pregnancies, this curve increases unless they work on their core. Okay, so this, when we do practical, usme you will see the differences in everybody is different. Sabka posture alag hoga. Aaj agar hum dekhenge. Okay, why the focus on posture? Gravity is working on us today as we speak. So hard to, everything is going down, na? It's getting pulled down. So we have to work our best to make sure we uplift everything. How do we do that? Through exercise. That's the only thing that's going to keep us to eliminate effects of gravity. Okay. These? Who's guilty of these? Everybody of all? You know, in COVID time, orthoscopes did really well. Everybody was on the bed, working, watching TV, and सब कुछ बेड से हो रहा था. बहुत neck pain, back pain, everybody across the board. Okay, because of habits, sleeping on the sofa. I've had people come in with these. Reading in bed, watching TV in bed, propping up with tons of pillows, okay, things like that. Sitting without back support, lifting without thinking. At work, also not keeping back well supported.
So on this I have a question. One is, of course, whenever we talk about posture and all that, especially in corporate, everybody just thinks, oh, sitting arrangement is not proper. So how much of it is about sitting and how much of it is your own?
It's both. It's about ergonomics. At work, it is all about ergonomics. So, one is, I work with, I have a lot of different experience. I have corporate ergonomic experience. I am an ergonomist as well. So, we've seen that if किसी को एक must proper excellent ergonomic chair दे and we assume this person is now going to be pain-free for life. Does that happen? It's like taking a gym membership. Gym membership के लिए आपको fit होना ही पड़ेगा. ऐसा नहीं है ना? So one is the chair does matter, where you're sitting does matter. It also has to be fit ergonomic to you. Okay, there is a difference between you and him. The body types are different. Are all the parameters adjusted to you? If not, that is a potential problem. That's one. One is a good chair. Second is fitting it to you. Third is you using it properly, which is coming up with this. Okay. So there are a lot of do's and don'ts. In fact, I have one booklet that tells you proper sitting ergonomics, and you feel free to take pictures of it, or I can send you a soft copy. But two main factors that you need to remember when you're sitting. Only two simple. इतना करोगे तो हो जाएगा. Back has to be supported at all times. Is it? Not necessary. Is the full back supported? Back is not lower back. Back is full back. Is your full back supported? Are you sitting all the way back into the chair?
But you mean the shoulder should touch the chair?
Yes. Only then your neck is going to go back, na?
So it's here and the
And
shoulders.
the shoulders. Not necessarily the neck. I know there are chairs that also have the head. I
Head.
don't like that. Okay, if you have that, remove it, because it's giving you biofeedback. Subconsciously at the back of your mind, you're going to think, "Wah, kuch hai," so you will go in this. So remove it. But your shoulders need to be, at least till here, you need to have support. Okay, so full back supported, that's one. Also this, you saw the curve in Anthony standing. That curve, is it maintained in the chair? If it's an ergonomic chair and you're sitting all the way back, then it's maintained. But if it's not an ergonomic chair, it's not maintained. Then what do you need? You need external support. Okay, lumbar roll. Not that. No, not that. Lumbar roll? No, not that. You can get stuck like this. Wait. Okay, you need some extra external supports. If you don't have that, then you're not going to be able to maintain that on your own. Why? Because you don't have the strength. You don't have the core strength. You don't have the muscle strength to do that. Second, hip has to be below the knee. So for example, these chairs, some of you, for the shorter people, the chair is too low for you. For the tall people, it's fine because then their hips are going up. So look at where your heart is. This, if it goes here, you can see how it's going to maintain that curve. Without that, it's not. Okay, so if you don't have one of these, please invest in one of these. Okay, so hip above the knee and feet touching the ground. Itna 2-3 things if you are careful of. Most people I find when they are working, they are too far from the laptop. Laptop से इतना दूर होते हो कि कुछ something you want to focus on what you're doing, you're going immediately like this. You come closer, na? Come as close to the desk as possible. But anybody working from home still?
Still hybrid.
Hybrid work. So when you are at home, then you make sure that all the setup is proper. Don't use your child's chair.
Actually, I use a tiny footstool, a sloping one. Is that okay?
For your feet?
Yes.
Because your feet don't touch. Yes, yes, excellent. So the third point is what feet have to be touching. If any of these three are off, then you are in trouble. So अगर पूरा पीछे बैठोगे तो शायद feet touch ना करे. So now you put a footrest.
And we tend to sit cross-legged even on the chair.
That
For
is
many
because you are sensing subconsciously some discomfort somewhere. Either feet are not touching flat or back is feeling unsupported. Somewhere something is off. So you need to fix your chair.
No, generally also we feel comfortable cross-legged.
Oh, then it's fine. But if you are, even if you're sitting cross-legged, one is excessive periods of time also not a good idea, no? Secondly, if you're sitting like this, you can still slouch unless you have a backrest. Correct? So take care of that. People who cross their legs and sit, That is again a byproduct of that. कि somewhere something इन तीनों में से कुछ off है. So go back and fix those things. Correct sitting. Just some things to think about how we do things. We don't think about how we do things actually. You know? When I first moved to India, I was appalled. सब sink इधर है, wash basin इधर है, सब everything is low ना in our house. All the storage is low. कितनी बार anyway we bend forward so much. Everything is low. So I got it all redone. My contractor thought I was crazy. My basin is this high. My kitchen ka kata is high, ergonomic level. So fridge. Have you thought about fridge freezer? How many times you bend down to open the fridge? Flip it, na? Freezer kam use hota hai. Right? These are just things to be aware of. How we are, what are we doing with our bodies and spine? Bending forward and sitting in a C position, these are the biggest culprit today of poor posture and malalignment and all kinds of malalignment. Okay, laptop setup, eye level, and the basic things that we spoke about. Okay, now, which one of these are you? Should we do a quick check?
Sure.
तो guess तो करो खुद का. Which one are you? Healthy ना? Healthy. Which one? Forward.
Sway back or forward?
Forward. Sway back. What is sway back?
Normally curvature is too high.
No, not necessary. Yes, little bit of that, but not that. Sway back, I am guilty of sway back. So I'll tell you now why I'm very used. When I stand, I'll tell you my postural deviations, so then you'll understand. When I stand, if I'm teaching a workshop, you see immediately my knees go into hyperextension.
Yeah.
This is my normal stance. When this happens, what happens? My spine curves more, and I have a tendency to do sway back. This is sway back.
Oh.
Not that I'm saying you should wear heels. I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm just telling you now immediately if I put heels, what will happen? My knees are unable to go into hyperextension. I have to maintain some amount of. So I correct. ये normal हो गया. मेरा sway back करना है. I did not know that I had sway back till a colleague of mine, a very good physio, she told me, "Arey, why are you doing this?" And I did not understand what is sway back. She's like, "Why are you standing like this?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So she actually had to pull my hips back. See where you were. It's like, oh yeah, that's how our brains are. We get so used to the abnormalities that we don't realize that we're doing something wrong. Okay, so that's me, that's sway back. Who else? So now that you know what is sway back, this is kyphosis. If you have an excessive curve there. You can also have a dowager's hump, which is यहाँ पे like a mass or like an extra growth. Flat back. Flat back is वो S है ही नहीं, it's everything is straight. Okay, चलो guess करो.
Healthy.
तुम लोग.
I don't know actually.
Forward head. Forward head तो everybody is forward head.
Forward head is
I think second, fourth, and fifth.
forward head.
Kyphosis? Who said kyphosis? Let me check. Stand everybody. Okay, I need to see your side view. So turn. Side keep an eye. कोई मिला बकरा तो भेजो. I found
अभी
one.
सब कॉन्शियसली
खड़े हैं, अभी सबको पता है कि आप पॉइंट करोगे तो.
I found one bakra, but you tell me if you find anything else.
प्लीज बोला दिस में थोड़ा
And you also.
हाँ
You come first. Sit, sit. Sorry to pick up. For the sake of knowledge. Okay. So just hang normal, huh? कुछ करो मत. Do you see forward head?
Yeah.
You see where the ear is dropping?
Yeah.
Right? Do you think this is little excessive? Slightly excessive. Okay, that's about it. Now see if you are able to correct with the chin tuck. Push your chin back. Is he able to correct?
Slightly.
To some extent,
Slightly.
but
To
it's
some
already
extent,
going
yeah.
towards fixed.
Yeah.
You see that? He will correct about 30-40%. Full correct nahi hoga. Because he's been there long enough. Okay, very good. There are solutions to everything. Don't worry. Come, let's check it. No, he's actually flat back. See his ये देखो curve का है. Curve
Straight.
का है. Kyphosis किधर है?
Straight.
Back किधर है? Flat back. We can fix it. Go back. Okay? Everybody is forward. But some can correct it, some are not able to correct it. The flat back takes a little bit longer to correct. The sway is easy to correct. All I have to be is be conscious of where I am. Okay? What?
Or
Or
very
Or
very
where
nice.
he is. That's not what I'm saying. I never wear heels, right? She's never seen me there. Okay, correct standing. How do you stand for a long time without causing issues? One is your core needs to be engaged. When I say core, it's not just your abs, it's also your glutes. Okay, so engage your core and stand. Make sure if you're standing for a long periods of time, make sure you're not doing this. Uneven pressures building up on one side of the spine and the hip. So standing as evenly as possible with everything engaged. But if you're standing for too long, maybe you put one foot up and make sure you keep changing that. Hardly anybody stands now. Who stands? You stand?
Yeah.
Teachers, lawyers, yeah, lawyers. Who else?
He's also trained for
Standing itna? You are standing only. Right?
He also stands.
So what do you do?
We generally go for the physical inspections of.
So then you are standing, walking.
Walking.
Standing, walking both, na?
Standing, most of us standing and walking, and वो फिर चाय वाय के लिए भी फिर ऐसे ही खड़े रहते हैं.
Only in the local tank.
That is a whole other thing. वहाँ posture अच्छा होगा तो good लगा.
I was about to ask.
None of you attended my core workshop, na? I did a core one. So engaging means that isometrically at will we are able to contract those muscles. Abdominal muscles, not by holding breath. That's the first thing that happens. That's the easiest way. Which is incorrect. We are all breathing wrong. We are all not engaging core. The core is. There are so many people with a dead butt. Dead butt syndrome you've heard? All goes back to that because you're sitting on the butt so much, it's hardly getting engaged. There are so many people who with back pain that we try to activate the glutes और वो कुछ होता ही नहीं है. Muscles are not, I mean I don't want to say dead, they are asleep because hopefully we can wake them up. But so engaging is basically at will when you say I want to contract, you turn the core. So that's basically activation, muscle activation. Okay, so this, so people who stand for long periods of time. Then you want to think about if you have your handbag or something on you, if you have paperwork with you. Then you want to keep switching it. So you're not overloading one side of your spine. Things like that. All that goes to posture. Sleeping posture. Okay. Which one is good, which is bad? Last one is good, na?
Bad.
That's one bad.
So sleeping on the tummy is not such a great idea. Any tummy sleepers? Sorry.
It just happens unconsciously when you sleep, you tend to go into that position.
So actually my son also tends to sleep on his tummy. I keep flipping him, but it doesn't work. People who as children have had difficulty breathing or people who have acidity problems, those are the ones who end up. Because that's a comfort position. Because it opens the lungs more. for in general not so healthy because why when you're sleeping on the tummy without pillow you're sleeping or with pillow?
With pillow.
With pillow. So without pillow था तो फिर भी flat था. With pillow है तो you are here ऐसा. Neck is in what upper position. Okay, so do a favor on yourself. You're all married, all of you. If you're married, then there's hope for you. Are you married? Married. हाँ. क्या बोला तुमने? एक दो बार थप्पड़ पड़ेगा तो फिर अपने आप याद आ जाएगा. Okay, so that's about sleeping. Correct posture. Lifting. We don't again lift very much now. Anything that you're lifting? Not much. Cooker maybe. ना कुकर अगर लिफ्ट किया दूर से जितना लिफ्ट किया उतना ज़्यादा प्रेशर is coming on the spine. So get in nice and close and lift. Using both hands rather than one. Using your big muscles. Big muscles are not back muscles. Back muscles are small uni muscles. We want to use big muscles, leg muscles, glutes. So bend your knees. Driving. People think driving is not sitting. How much you sit in the day? Oh, not much. But I drive 3 hours a day. Driving is sitting only. Sitting mein, again you're going out of that core posture. What are you doing? You're in a very bad seat unless you have that. Back support. Right? Airplanes and car. Of course there are some newer models which do have nice lumbar supports. No? But most of them are helping you get in that C position. So taking breaks, moving. Our body needs to move. The best thing that you can do for your spine for posture is standing. When you are in standing, you are able to maintain a neutral posture. Able to. Okay, maybe not for prolonged periods of time, but for some time. But how much we stand and walk? We sit most of the day. Sitting is when the posture goes for a toss, for sure. Because we are out of the neutral. Okay, now, these are the things that musculoskeletal issues that we see cropping out of core posture. Upper cross syndrome, lower cross syndrome, scoliosis, sciatica, everybody knows. Cervicalgia is basically neck pain. Thoracic outlet syndrome, restrictive respiratory disease. This is basically over a period of time the lungs just don't get enough air and oxygen. Thoracic outlet syndrome is here. You get nerves and tissues stuck here because you are like this. Okay, that can lead to tingling numbness, pain down the arm. This everybody knows. Sciatica everybody knows. Pain going into the leg. If you don't know, you're lucky. Pain in the leg, one or the other. Scoliosis, and these two I'm showing you pictures. This is an upper cross syndrome. When you sit in a forward like this, you're already in this. These are the muscular changes that have already happened in the body. When we do postural correction, we are flipping these things. We are doing exercises to flip these. Okay? Lower cross, same thing. Glute max is weak. Dead, asleep. This is tight. Front of the hip is tight. So what does it do? It puts you in that position. You're, especially runners, people who walk and run. They're walking and running like they're sitting only. Hip is stuck there. Mobility nahi hai na wahan. How will you get the mobility unless you do exercises? Okay? And weak abs. Core is weak. This is core, na? So this needs to strengthen and this needs to become mobile. Scoliosis. You're aware of scoliosis? Scoliosis, again, some people have it by birth, some people develop it over time. It can be because of one foot shorter than the other or flat foot on one side. Lot of reasons for it. But basically it means a curve in the spine. Okay, when it's initial and early on, absolutely correctable. But to catch it is important. How will you catch it? You will be able to tell either differences. So samjhega, there is some scoliotic changes happening. Okay, now, how to maintain good posture? Again, easier said than done. First, you have to be aware. Second, you have to work on all your postural muscles. There are a lot of small muscles in the body. Now, we are actually trying to correct, because we are all in poor posture. So we have to now correct it, get it back to neutral, and then work on your postural muscles. Okay, I'll show you a picture of postural muscles. Awareness, a balance of muscles on both sides of the spine, which is your front of the spine and the back of the spine, need to have equal strength. That is my problem with people doing crunches for core. You do crunches करते जाओ एक तो abs strong हो नहीं रहा है, पर हो भी रहा है तो खाली यही हो रहा है, पीछे का muscles का क्या? Imbalance is getting recreated, it's getting worse with time.
Plank will do good.
Plank will do. But again, plank people do without engaging any muscles. If you are engaging, activating the muscles and then doing it, then it's not good. Okay, strong postural muscles, but you saw the picture where mobility is just as essential. If certain muscles are not open, then you cannot strengthen them. Okay, classic example is if your pecs are tight, you are here. मैं कितना भी यहाँ पे strength, scapular strengthening करती होगी, ये पीछे नहीं जाएगा ना? So how am I going to strengthen it? So first you have to work on mobility, open those structures, and then work on strength. Okay, that's clear? These are your postural muscles. There are a lot of them. This is just this one. Okay, now you've understood about posture. Okay, the key parts you've understood. How do you now take it ahead? First step is to assess your posture. There are two ways to assess posture. One is qualitative and one is quantitative. Qualitative is when I give you the check marks, you can probably do it on your own. But if an expert looks at you, obviously that's better. So that's qualitative. That's eyeballing it and looking at major areas, and you can pick up some major things. How we did with them, yes, right? But quantitative is where you use a software or a computer system or a lab in order to give us exactly the deviations and the angle of deviations. Okay, so we do have that, and I will show you that in a minute, what that looks like. Posture is assessed from the front, back and side. We pick up different things from different. For both of them, I had them stand to the side. Correct? Because I wanted to show you the spine. See. Okay, these are the things that we are looking at. Where is the head? Where is the shoulder? Okay, third. Tummy, engaged or not? Or hips, pelvis. Is it anteriorly tilted? Is it posteriorly tilted? Flat back people, posteriorly tilted. Lordosis जिसका ज़्यादा है, anteriorly tilted. Right? 7, you want to look at where the hands are. What will you see? Sometimes you will see one is away, or you will see एक ऊपर नीचे है. Not just scoliosis, it could be just muscle stuff. Knee, I told you, knee cup, hyperextension, or valgus. Maybe I'm standing like this. Knock knees or bow legs. Anybody has knock knees or bow legs? Huh? Anybody else? Or you don't know?
We don't know.
What, it should be soft or how should we stand?
Knees have to be soft while standing. Okay, and then feet. What are we looking at feet? We are looking at overpronation. We are looking at this. अगर ये यहाँ है तो feet भी ऐसे है ना? Flat-footed लेकिन है, things like that. We think that's not posture. That is posture. Posture begins from the foot up. We only think about where is head and neck. But that's just as critical. That's the foundation.
Sorry, if the knees are soft, then it's the glutes and the abs that are where we're meant to be engaging there so that the knees can be soft.
Yes. So if you try to engage your core, if you're trying to engage your abs and your glutes, sometimes what you do, you also tighten your knees. What did you do? You went into hyperextension. That's unnecessary. So you want to keep them nice and soft and then engage your glutes and your abs. So that way you're not excessively loading the joint. If you load the knee joint, you also loaded the ankle and foot without knowing. Okay, this is clear? Okay, these are the things that deviations that we pick up. Head, neck, shoulder, spine, hips. What is even rotation है कि नहीं, ऊपर नीचे है कि नहीं, all these are things that we generally pick up. Okay, now let's do exercises. let's clear the room, let's do some exercises. So move all the chairs out, wherever you see space, just put them all.
I think there.
Okay, so let's create some space in the middle. Okay. Who has a foam roller at home? Others? Others don't have, na? Those who don't have must get one. Okay, so if you guys are decently active, if you guys are doing any kind of exercises, workouts, then a foam roller is something that you must have. But today we are going to do some posture exercises with the roller. Now you will ask, नहीं है तो क्या करें? तो ले लो. नहीं लेना है तो you can use वो load होता है ना? Bolster. That you can take. Okay, so who can we have as a model? Volunteer.
If she wants to come.
Come. Give me a mat, no? Okay, now there are two things we'll be doing with the roller. What are we trying to do? We are going to open our anterior muscles. Right? We're going to open our chest. We're going to keep our spine in neutral. We're going to teach the body this is neutral and we're going to open all the tight muscles. So you're going to lie down aisa on the roller. So your spine is going to be on the roller.
Yeah.
Straight.
All the way. I would. Sit on the roller. Yeah. Sit. अरे भाई सभी ऐसे ही थोड़ा आगे now lie down. Bend your knees. Scoot down. Scoot down. Yes, brother. You run now? Yeah. You have a roller. Yes. Yes. Now I want your hands like this. And pull your elbows down. Okay, or you can drop them to the floor. That's not doing. Just see if your hand will touch the ground. This way? Reach. Okay. Able to maintain your balance? Yeah. Okay. So what did we do in this?
Open the chest.
Open the chest. Also our core is being challenged, can you see? Because it's uneven.
Yes.
Okay, her neck muscles are also being challenged right now because it's uneven. So in a soft way, a lot of the postural muscles are working, but we are also opening her chest. But her upper body is stiff, you can see that.
Yeah.
So this roller has to be long enough to support you.
The roller भी है उसमें, जो small वाला.
छोटा दो ना मुझे वहाँ से.
छोटा वाला भी चलेगा.
Pointed, little uncomfortable, put a towel or something on it. Come, you can get it. चलो. You asked for this. चलो, do the same thing. Now, इसमें because the roller is small, the hips will be out,
Okay.
but head has to be supported. Okay, we cannot leave the head hanging. ठीक है? Okay, now here, drop them down. Elbow touching. Go down with your hands. If hands are touching, great, super. Okay, this. Hips are up. Core is engaged.
You should not touch the ground.
It will not touch the ground.
No, it won't.
It needs to stay up.
Okay.
Okay, so we are activating. See, now his glutes are also working. They have to work. नहीं तो ये position hold ही नहीं होगा. ना?
How long we should do this?
As long as you can.
I mean, as part of the exercise, yes.
To do it to fatigue. So you can do it a minute, 2 minutes, and just do breathing here. So the point is, one is to work, engage on the postural muscles, but also to help your diaphragm open. So do deep breathing here and do diaphragmatic breathing. You understand diaphragmatic breathing, everyone?
Yes.
Diaphragmatic breathing is when you breathe in, you can see your belly coming out. And then when you breathe out, belly is going in. See that? You came to some workshop.
So you're not holding a cord fully?
He is holding the cord. Why?
And doing, and then breathing?
Yes. He has to.
This is just one count, like you stay in this position as long
It's
as
a static pose, yes. This will open things that need to open and it's engaging the things that need to engage. Okay? Now, we are going to use the roller to flip. So, roll off. Now we are placing it like this. Either and down. It's not a crunch.
Okay, like this.
Bas, do not roll. Go down. Head touching. Hips touching. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. See if you're able to straighten the leg. He is very flexible. Not everybody is like this. So now his anterior structures are also opening. Spine is also opening. All this is opening. Deep breathing.
This is
Diaphragmatic
second
breathing.
exercise or because
Second.
it's shorter?
Second. Exercise number 2.
You'll send us these? You'll send us these?
The hand should be under the head or on the side.
Under the head or this
So
also
whichever
works.
side
Whatever
you
feels
use.
comfortable. He is making it look easy, but ऐसा उतना easy नहीं है. इसलिए volunteered. अभी सब
So this thing is as big as that or it
This
looks
one
like
is smaller.
It's smaller, right?
Almost half.
Even
But either can be used.
Either can be used. I use this one because this is too
It is,
soft and
so the harder the better.
harder. Now bend your knees and see we've kept it at the lower thoracic spine. Now let's move it up to the shoulder blades. Move it up to the shoulder blades. Roller comes up. There, bas. Now this opens more the upper body. So you can keep it at different spots. 3-4 जगह पे
Roll on
keep.
it.
Not rolling.
No, what I mean is change the position.
Change the position,
statically.
only
Yeah.
that much rolling,
Yeah.
otherwise you're not supposed to roll the spine. Do not do that and tell people I don't do that.
No, I have attended your best session.
Foam roller wala.
Yeah.
Haan.
Specifically told us not to.
Yes, I want everybody, but people should listen.
Yeah.
People
Roller
should
should not
remember
go on the
also
back,
they
like
will-
come on strikers where you had said roller you should not be able to go back on this.
Yes, exactly. Thank God somebody is listening.
Yes.
Okay? So he's making it look easy. कोई और try करो. चलो कोई और try करो.
Correct.
Yeah? Those who are attending live, please do this if you can. If you have a roller, then do it. Otherwise, use your cushions and pillows.
Neck has to be support your head.
Head has to go down also.
Acha, and you will.
Oh, you're doing which one? I
I'm doing the first
vertical,
one.
na? So head on the roller.
Head on the.
Head on the roller.
Hold on.
Got it? Hands in the hips up. Glutes tight. Breathing. Now, if you wanted to make it intense, you could move these up while touching. Okay, and then come back in. This will challenge all this. Challenge means it will open. If you have any active shoulder problems, don't do this. No?
I keep on moving up and down like that.
Move, go up there and then hold it there. Let it open there. Then you move here because different muscle fibers are opening now.
Okay.
Can you perceive that?
Yeah.
The stretch comes at different places. Got it? But core is engaged, deep breathing, diaphragmatic breathing. बराबर. Okay? अभी दूसरा वाला रहेगा. Horizontal. बराबर है? Up higher. Put it on the shoulder blade.
Yeah.
Hips down, head down. Hips down.
I think still up.
So now you see, this is normal. That is not normal.
This is difficult.
Just do it. Okay, let's
There
see
should
some.
be a hand position.
Hand here. But head has to be supported, guys. I don't care hips touch nahi ho raha, it's fine. Head has to be supported. Neck is a very delicate area. You cannot leave it hanging. क्या हो गया?
It should go up, no?
Come down.
Roll the roller ahead.
Now it will be.
Now push your hips down. हाँ, तो head ऊपर आ रहा है ना? Keep your head up instead. Gradually, if he does this for 1 week every day, 1 to 2 minutes, ये हो जाएगा. That's all it needs. It just needs repetition. You don't look convinced.
Very easy.
I know that. Wrong model. Wrong model.
You should always use to.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so these two exercises you're clear what we are doing here.
Yeah.
Alright, the third one now will come next. Chalo.
More academics.
Lunge position करना है. Seated lunge. Lunge position. Lunge. ये. Okay. This is the starting position. Keep your body nice and straight. ये पैर को आगे लो. Okay. Now, glide forward जितना आगे आ सकते हो. Okay. What are we doing here? We are opening the hip flexor iliopsoas. We are opening the hip. Why? Because that's tight, and that's the one that we have to correct. Now, in this position, the glute on the same side is optimum to contract. Okay, so right side का glute tight करो. आगे आओ. अभी right side का glute tight करो. Back straight रखो. Okay, but you get the gist. It's tough to do. Not everybody can do.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be right. It's not easy, and not everybody gets it. Okay, chalo. All of you try. Wherever you are, you get in the lunge position. Open the same, basically with the knees. So bed, do it on the bed. Grab that foam pad. Is it there? The blue foam pad. It's the black one. Jim.
Knee on the ground, right?
Knee on the ground, lunge position, go forward. Now squeeze the glute that's behind. You came from forward.
Looking for the problematic areas to be
Reason?
lower back.
क्योंकि मेरी memory इतनी अच्छी नहीं है. पहले का कुछ याद नहीं रहता. My husband says it's like 51st day. You see, no? You can, is it? चलो.
That minimalistic.
थोड़ा कुछ तो हो रहा है. What about you? Is it happening? Good. Switch sides and see if you can do the other side. You can do it on the bed. You can put a towel under and try the other side. Get in that position. Get on the mat. Get on that position. I want to do the next one. Mat. Okay. Now, activated. Everything activated. Now, can you bend that पीछे का knee and try to hold with your hands? Same position. पीछे का knee bend करो.
Bring your ये bend.
Yeah. Squeeze the glute. Again abnormal. Very abnormal.
Get together.
करते क्या हो तुम? Okay, anybody else wants to try this? Chalo. This is the next step. This is obviously making it more intense. It's tough to do. आगे वाला पैर आगे.
आगे
चलो,
कैच करेगा
grab वाला. First one was to
वो थोड़ा
get in full. You take up the full range of the hip. Now squeeze the glute. Squeeze the glute. Got it? Breathing is normal. Diaphragmatic breathing.
Yeah.
Now.
slowly balance
दोनों हाथ से. Okay. Now what are we doing? Glute is activated. Core is engaged. Full core is engaged. नहीं तो he will fall. Got it? अरे पकड़ भी मैं
इसका पैर पड़ रहा है.
And now the muscle is really getting elongated. The full hip यहाँ से यहाँ full elongate हो रहा है. Glute is strongly activated and breathing is going on.
I felt it behind. In the muscle.
Hamstring.
Hamstring.
Hamstring should not activate for this one. Then the glute is not activating, that means. And do you see how his upper body is also opening? Pecs are also opening because he's holding in the back with both hands. Got it? So that was the easy version. This is the harder version. Chalo, try karo. And you need to stretch.
No, it is my stretching. It is not control or
Chalo, let's see. I'm looking. I'm checking. Karo.
It's hard on knees.
Back nice and straight.
wait to hold that
Yeah.
Can we give it a hand? What was I going to say? Jay, you were saying it's coming on the hamstring. So when you lift up the leg, it's going to come on the hamstring. But once you're in position, then it should settle.
This one is easier than this one. There's a big difference.
There's a big difference. Then please check both sides because you could have a dysfunction on one side. One can be different. So then you work on that side more. Everybody is not done. Public here?
yeah
It makes a big difference.
Then you understand. Right and left में फर्क समझता है.
straight
Good. इनका कोई photo लो.
body straight first
Such a nice photo this is going.
You're not able to pick up this weight.
Not able to. Go back a little bit.
body straight like this
Okay.
then try
You stay here. 1 week में हो जाएगा. You believe me, right?
He's already knee support here.
हाँ, maybe with knees. You can just pad the knee.
Use this.
you take that
This side flexion. Very good.
Okay, कितने exercise हो गए कौन गिन रहा है?
Many get cramping here. So they go with time.
It goes with time. You have to do more.
But let it go at that time.
You can change position to the other side to that point. If it's a severe cramp, obviously चलना है. Okay, कितना exercise हुआ? 4. 4. Let's do the next one. On the tummy. Chalo. What's up to come off the ground?
Everything, only the stomach will be
Chin tucked in.
What should be the
Knees off the ground. It's harder than it looks.
Means the stomach, only the stomach.
Only
Yeah.
the
has to be
breathe.
You can't
So again, try to do diaphragmatic breathing. Okay? Spine is not getting squeezed. You're in fact opening the lungs.
Bending your leg and trying to come out.
So all the muscles are working. So visualize what all muscles are working. Turn. You're lifting from here. These muscles are working, these are working, these are working, glutes are working, hamstrings are working.
Absolutely.
The whole extensor chain is working. Okay? Got it? Those are your postural muscles. The big as well as the small muscles you recruit, which rarely we do. This one is tough to do for that reason, because we are sitting like this and we've not activated only these muscles. Back pain, sprain, hip, all this originates from here because of the lack of strength. Okay? Now, last exercise. This one. So these exercises that I showed you, obviously you need props, you need to lie down, things like that. So how frequently do you think you can do these?
Once a day.
At least once a day.
2-3 times a day?
Once a day.
Wow. अभी पता ना 8 of them. That is ideal. Okay. If you do this in the first part of the day, before your day even starts, trust me, now your brain is cued into good posture. So all day, without thinking, without trying hard, you will sit in a good posture. But you can do it at the end of the day also. That also gives you a lot of relief if you do it at the end of the day. Once a day is minimum, 3 times a day is excellent, but once a day is minimum. And that's why I'm showing you just very basic, just simple things that you can do. Got it? All you need is a roller.
Before dinner.
Before dinner, after dinner, before dinner. Before dinner, correct. Last exercise, this one I'm definitely expecting you to do all day long, every day, every day, several times a day if possible. This is just to give your body an awareness of where you are in space and what good posture means. It just means standing against the wall. Okay, so grab a ball. Grab a ball. Okay, now let's take a few models. What do you want to do? Feet can be slightly forward, butt has to be touching, shoulder blades touching, back of the head touching, and normal breathing going on. Tell me, क्या हो रहा है? You first of all get everything aligned and do nice deep breathing. Let the circulation improve in that. You walk off the wall and see how long you can maintain that. Okay? Easy enough? Easy but very effective. Funny? Easy but very effective.
Shoulders everything against the wall.
Shoulders touching. Yes. Shoulder blades touching. Not necessarily shoulders. Shoulder blades. Just keep it relaxed. Okay, so here you can see variations. Some people's shoulders are way too ahead, some people's chin is still not going far back. All of us have these variations. Correct? Now, these are the exercises. Everybody's made a note of them? Chin goes up. So this is now fixed. Understood? If you are able to correct, then that means it's not fixed yet. You can still correct. But अगर वो जा ही नहीं रहा, you are having a lot of tension and difficulty. So for example, him. So if his head is touching, back of the head is touching, then chin is out. So this is little bit fixed now. अगर chin अंदर किया, तो head आ गया बाहर. Correct?
Little bit of tension.
Tension. So that is abnormal tension. We don't want to do too much. You will do it gradually. Because now this is going into fixed. I wouldn't say it's completely fixed yet. It's getting there. Okay? Okay. So this is of what that actually is. So,
And come short as well.